Now, I was going to start this next interview by saying, we just commemorated National Flag Day. Some of us may have. I suspect the majority didn't even know it was on. There is a core group out there now that obviously despise the flag and want to see it as a prop in the Senate and everything else. But for the core that understand the importance of this emblem, and it is the greatest symbol of this modern Australian nation that we enjoy, Flag Day is a day to recognise the importance of the flag and to honour the significance of what it carries. And it is Flag Day, or was yesterday, September 3, because back in 1901, that was the day where the flag was revealed for the first time. I think we officially call it the Commonwealth Blue Ensign. Well, the man who knows all the truth, I'll stop wobbling on, the man that has the facts is, of course, John Vaughan, a vexillographer, it says on his business card. Most people wouldn't know what that is either, funnily enough, but John's with us. Hello, John.
Happy Flag Day for yesterday, Michael. What a great success the Flag Day was. Probably the most successful day we've had since Flag Day was introduced in 1996.
How wonderful.
The special messages that came in from the Governor-General. Look, your colleague Ben was so impressed that he read the whole letter for the Flag Day message from the Governor-General, word for word. And that's fantastic. By the way, the flag, as you said, is the chief national symbol of Australia by law, custom and tradition. And, of course, it was uniquely adopted through the public competition in 1901 and first flown on the 3rd of September 1901 on the main dome of the magnificent Royal Exhibition buildings in Melbourne. So that started our flag going. That flag was 11 metres long by 5.5 metres wide. It was a blue ensign, as you call it, or the Commonwealth Blue Ensign, and now we call it the Australian national flag because one of the sponsors of the competition initially, when it was a private competition, was the Review of Reviews for Australasia. And in their June monthly edition of 1901, they actually had one colour plate in the whole magazine. That was the front cover.
Yep.
And it says here, Review of Reviews, federal flag adopted as the national flag by the Commonwealth government. So there's no doubt about it. It was the national flag from day one. Its first duty was to link together the navies of the former Australian colonies as the Commonwealth Naval Forces ensign. And it flew at the stern, the blunt end of the ships, as the special flag for our combined Navy. And that got it going until the Royal Australian Navy was formed, and our flag went from the stern to the bow on what's called the jack staff. And of course, in battle, there are two battle ensigns. The white ensign, which is a mirror image of the Australian national flag, and of course, the Australian national flag itself. So if you see a big fighting ship steering towards you with big flags up, they've got their battle ensigns up. Look out.
It's all technical, but it's wonderful stuff. And I mean, this is the sort of stuff that we should all be soaking in. I don't have a lot of time, John, but I referenced earlier my interpretation of the flag for what it's worth. I said in my opening editorial, the Union Jack references our British foundations. The Federation Star reminds us of the unique fortune that we've enjoyed with an entire continent united under just one national parliament. And the Southern Cross reflects, as I said, an eternal vision of our place on this earth. Is that a fair enough summation, do you think?
It is, and most importantly, when you combine those three devices, as they're called for flags, that makes our flag totally unique as well as beautiful, because we are the only place that use a combination of the Southern Cross, the Commonwealth Star, and the Union Jack. So it is our special flag alone, and very important indeed. By the way, if anyone is interested, the Flag Day messages were just so good that have a look at Flag Day Australia Facebook page, or go to any of the sites where it says Flag Day messages on the web 2025, and you'll find this massive list of beautiful flags. By the way, I'd like to salute our designers of the flag. Did you know that two of them were teenagers?
No.
And one was only 14 years old. He was still at school in Melbourne, and his name was Ivor Evans. And they, in the competition, they had to have a nom de plume, a secret name.
Oh.
So he chose, guess what he chose? Simplicity.
Oh, that's kind of neat, isn't it? Yes.
Well, it is. Simplicity of design and meaning of design and the like. And, of course, the other teenager was a fellow called Leslie John Hawkins, and I met his son and daughter some years ago. And he adopted the Latin term elthus, which is hope and expectation. And he was a teenager. The other three were, 35 years of age. Bert Nuttall from Melbourne, Annie Dorrington, an artist of wildflowers and the like from Perth. And, of course, we have William Stevens, who was a ship's officer in New Zealand, because, remember, under our constitution, New Zealand can join the Commonwealth of Australia.
Yes, welcome any time.
Yeah. Anyway, William Stevens did us a great favour, because an exact copy of his original submission, because there were the 5 that shared the prize money. Their entries were almost identical. His design was actually kept in the Turnbull Library in New Zealand, so we've managed to retrieve that. But unfortunately, the other winning design disappeared in the archives of the Commonwealth of Australia. So we've got his, and we know, because they're identical or close enough to it, this is exactly what the flag looked like, and that's reproduced on the Review of Reviews. Now, we've got some other good news. There's a flag road show going.
A road show?
Yes, a road show. So if your school wants to see the big flag that flies over Parliament House, which is 40 feet by 20, you can apply to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Milton Dick, and that flag will roll round to your school. He's also setting up a youth parliament to, get people to understand, young people to understand the importance of our democracy, our parliamentary system, our rule of law and everything else.
Well, I've got to say, John, when you look at a lot of the contemporary conversations that go on about our parliamentary system and the flag, and I should say a lot of the misinformation that is allowed to be peddled around all of that, and the way that people read into these things that just are not there, that sort of a program is urgently needed, and I commend the Speaker of the House for that. Look, I've got to run. I've got to clear a commercial break. Congratulations again, John. I know we spoke last year at the same time, but congratulations again for all that you've done and the passion you clearly put into this issue. I just remind people, you go to Facebook if you want and have a look at Flag Day Australia on Facebook, Flag Day Australia. Great messages there. And John Vaughan, a great Australian. Thank you for your time. Just before we go, I'm looking out the window here. There's a guy.